F1 League, F1LL, Season 2 begins here, and we're going round 1 in Brazil. We have a big turnout of 14 drivers today, pretty good for the new season. Can't wait to get into this action between new drivers and other drivers getting faster. We're going to have a great race today. Is this just mine, or are we in the race? No, sorry, it's just mine. Yeah, here we go. So who's going to be first out? As we will go on board with them. It's going to be a Mercedes, I think, of CVIX, who will be the first car. No, never mind, a Haas jumped in. It will be good for 0001 first car on track. We will go on board with him as he makes his way around his outlap. Many cars going out. Let's quickly get the telemetry and lap data up. Let's get the fitted tyres. Going for on softs. Controversial choice, maybe, but we'll see how he gets his lap in here. See, depends how many pairs of softs he has and what strategy he went for. Grenadier and Parallax both out on hards. It looks like they're going to be slipstreaming each other down those straights. Could be very good for a pull, a good chance at pull for them. Let's go back on board again first. He's going to begin his outlap. No toe, just full on normal lap, unless there's someone coming out on their outlap who helps him, which there's not, and we will just be going away with going for his first lap now on the soft compound tyre. Nicely for the first 3 turns. Great first sector for Gunfer. Coming into turn 4, 90-degree left-hander, slow in, fast out. Into turn 5, quick 45-degree corner. This corner could be very tough. Usually you get oversteer on the exit. As you see, Gunfer handles that very well. These corners are going to be a little bit of tough as you get very tight on the apex, or even missing the apex if you just want to get a good exit. Good for hitting those apexes very well. He's going to come around the penultimate corner, or final, whatever you want to, if you want to call these string of corners the final corner. As Gunfer's going to be the first car to set on lap, unless it's invalid, which I don't think it will be. It's crossed the line, 1 minute 9.1. There's also Mercedes Civix crossing the line. What's his time? 1 minute 9.5, but bear in mind he's on medium compound. So let's go to Parallax of 1 minute 9.8. Grenadier may have invalidated. Blazing 1 minute 9.8 on the soft compound. So regular George on the medium compounds, 3/10 off against his lap there. Gunfer seems to have a pretty good lap. I'm sorry guys for pronunciations if they're wrong. Let's go on board with who's on a lap. Go on board with Big Boy Gio, and he's on a lap. Bulky Volcano slipstream with Gio, and both cross the line. Geo lap, I think, may have got invalidated there. Both going wide into turn 1. That's going to kill their times. A lot of driving now with laps, and Tim V not quite as quick. He's 6th on the grid right now. Not the worst time in the world, but Definitely improve on that. Reflection with a pretty slow lap. Maybe he made a few mistakes in that. Bulky definitely made a big mistake in that lap though. Let's go on board with Gwinnett. Is he on a lap? I think he is on a lap. Yeah, he's on a lap, and that is a big chunk of the curve being taken up into turn 1, but doesn't seem to be as much for an invalidation. He will continue on as he gets through the first sector into turn 4. Not many cars out on the track right now, getting out for that second stint though. That second lap to try and improve it before they got like the 3rd or 4th right at the end of the session to fight out for that pole. Gwinnett spins, he's into the wall. He's lucky that's not a retirement there. Very lucky there. He's not lost the front wheel. Now we go on board with who's not set a lap. No one is not set a lap. Who's on a lap? Let's go on board with regular George. Is he on a lap? No. Cypher is on a fast lap on soft type compounds, but they are old softs. But who knows? He could get a little slipstream off Bulky Volcano. There's Bulky Volcano's on the racing line. As Cypher's, that's definitely an invalidation, and who knows? That's is Bulky Volcano on a fire lap? I think he is, but oh, and that's very dirty from Bulky Volcano. Don't know why he's gone and done that for. I mean, Cypher I think might have invalidated his lap anyway. Can you see invalidations from here? Yeah, I think he did. So he could still be annoyed with that. That's Bulky and could appeal that, but everyone out on the out laps now. Let's go on board with Dunfer once more. He's currently top in the ranks. Actually no, let's go on board with Santu Recco. We've not been on board with him yet as he's preparing up for his flying lap coming around at the penultimate flash final corner. Coming into the first corner now. Not kissing the apex as much as you want to be there. Same with the second corner, not touching not going into the apexes as much as you're going to want to be there. First 3 corners, nothing wrong with the lap, but nothing very good about it. 17 flat in the first sector. Nicely through this circuit so far as he's going to come through turn 6's 9 to turn 7 early on the brakes, otherwise that's going to happen. You're going to go a little bit wide, lose maybe a 10th or 2 there. Nicely done through his track so far. Nicely done there though. A little bit of oversteer on the exit. Could hurt his lap. Coming into turn 13. Now up to the final few corners. He's going to come up to the line and what his lap going to be. Could be a pole time here. Not quite, it's just a 10th off going for his time, but pretty close time all in all for him there. Bulky's yet to come into the pits on 4 lap all softs, don't really know what he's doing. Let's go on. Is Blazing on a flying lap? I don't think he is because of the ERS. He may be, but the ERS 10% is telling me that he's not on that lap. Reflection, he's on a lap. Come through these few very good, very well navigated. Coming through turns 13, now through turn 14, and then up to the final corner as he's flat out on the throttle. Again, no toe that you can follow though. This has a soft lap though, and it is an improvement, not enough to go above Cypher. Blazing is 1.2 seconds down there, so it's not going to be enough. Cypher, I think he's on a lap. Yes, he is. Let's follow him around. Then we will go and have a look at Big Boy Juan's lap, who was the leader of this league before it got reset. Cypher is 2/10 up on his first sector time, so pretty good first sector from him. But he still needs to find a second in his lap if he wants to take pole position off Gunther. And he's only got 2/10 of that so far. As he backs out of that lap, with a little bit of oversteer maybe coming out of that exit. Reflection looks like the only other car on the lap. I think he's on his final lap. No, he's not. He's not putting it all on the throttle. On board with Big Boy Juan since then. So he's now starting his flying lap. Coming into turn 1. Wide entry. Not the best entry in the world. As you see, nicely over the apexes. Wanting to hit those brilliantly there. As he has. Coming into turn 4. Want to keep this nice and steady on the inside apex. The outside curve could really unstable the car. Into turn 5, the same with that outside curve. Turn 6 and 7. Fast flying corners as Civics has retired from the session. I'm not sure. Let's try and find his car. I'm not sure where that is. It's into turn 1 by the looks of things. So can we go on board with Gunther, as he should see his car. His car's been taken away. So let's go back on board with Big Boy Juan there. As I think also as Juan loses the back end, that's going to be big. His regular George is on a flying lap. No, he's not. Let's finish the lap on board with Juan. His Parallax goes huge and puts in a 1 minute 8.9. The first car to break into the 1 minute 8s. As Big Boy Juan still beats a few cars, even with that big chunk of oversteer. No one opted in for the hards early in this session, but Parallax being able to break into that 1 minute 8 mark, very big for him. Gunther's on mediums, his fastest lap's on soft, without the Cypher with a very big lap going into 4th place. Right behind his teammates, so Ferrari dominating the second row of the grid right now. He's gone board with Tim V. He was performing well through the past few races. Very consistent driver. Comes up, what's his first second improvement? 5/10, that's huge. He needs to find a second, and if he's going to carry on 4/10 each sector, that's going to get him on pole, provisional pole. There's 5 minutes left in the session. Cypher improves, probably wasted all his soft compounds, but he is on 2 lap old softs, meaning that they are going to be a lap older than everyone else is. Maybe bar Bulky Volcano. As we're going to keep following Tim V, as he's going to come to, as he very much loses the back end there. Hey Gio in the chat, still just under 4/10 up. He's going to come down into these last few corners now, as he's maybe able to get another lap in after this one, but I'm not quite sure. But it comes around the final corner. Now on the run up to the line, is it going to be a big improvement? 2.5/10, only going to push him past Blazing Strike there. Not the best of laps in the world. Anyone else on a lap? I think Blazing's on about another lap as he goes to 1 minute 9.1. That's a brilliant lap from Blazing Strike. 1 minute 9.1, that puts him slightly off Gunther. Just remember he's on the softs though. Parallax's lap is on the medium compound, so it's going to be tough for anyone to get that lap, maybe even on the softs. Let's go on board with EGH Grenadier because he's on mediums. He's not on a lap. Is anyone on a flying lap we can watch? I think Blazing's retiring from the session. No, he's just moving out the way for a back marker. Regular George is now on to his flying lap. A little bit of oversteer into turn 2. Not the biggest amount though. Not going to hurt his lap too much, but maybe just a little bit. Turn 4, eating up a lot of curve there. eating up a lot of curve again, and that's what probably his tactic is. He doesn't lose the back end. Nicely navigated from George. And he's on the softs, and Parallax is looking like he's going to be steadying up the laps to go on the softs also. Gunther's also in a brand new set of softs. Everyone is going to be pushing for the softs here. Just remember, you can go from soft to mediums as long as you're good at saving it to compound tyres. If you're good at saving your tyres, you can easily get one stop from soft to medium. Certain tracks is tough. This is a 36 lap race, remember. It's a marathon, not a sprint. George coming up to the line as he's going to go 1 minute 8.8, beat Parallax's time. Just remember, Parallax's time was on the medium tyres while George is on the soft, so you've got to remember that. But it is a 10th and a half in there. Medium tyres, I do find that they don't, not the quickest around here, which is not the best thing in the world. Drivers getting ready for their final laps now. The Santu Wrecker is waiting for his final lap. He's going bold with reflection as he comes up to the line. That's not his final lap, I don't think, is it? I think it is his final lap, I'm not sure, but I think he's going on to another one. He does pass Grenetic, not the best of laps, considering that he toes his teammate a lot, but they're not at the minute. Parallax is out of the pits there. He's a 10th and a half down. Let's go to Juan, as Juan loses it in the last second, in the middle sector, which is very unfortunate for Juan. Really unfortunate there. He is usually one of the fastest cars, but it seems to be that this track is not his favourite. He's on the medium, so that's a controversial decision. Same with Grenetic. Still is on another, still on a set of mediums, not opting for that set of softs. Gio's on a lap. His time is 1 minute 11.7. We do believe that Fox has connection issues, but so he will be starting at the back unless he gets out, which we don't think he will be. Come aboard Parallax in the McLaren. As Gunther goes quicker, he's another car breaking into the 1 minute 8s. 3 cars currently in the 1 minute 8s. Very good time from all drivers. Parallax is 10th up, which is already going to move him into pole position if he keeps up on this lap, as he can keep pushing through the time. Navigate the circuit very nicely. We're going to see just a few corners time if he's up on that lap. We do know that Santu Wrecker just came across the line, I think. Not to improve on that 1 minute 9.2 he put in the first place. 5/10 up, he's going to go way out on pole by the looks of things. Will he? I think Parallax is going to go on pole by at least a second here, maybe to the 1 minute 7s. No, 1 minute 8.4, 4/10 up there. As he loses it into the first corner, he's probably going to retire the car bay. Anyone else on a fast lap? Santu and no backed off. Tim V is coming on to his fastest lap, coming up to the final corner. His lap's going to be, it's going to put him 5th. Onto the 3rd row, we've got Gio on a fastest lap here. Grenetic's also on a fastest lap, we'll go on to him. Just a sec, Gio's no improvement for Gio. Grenetic, it goes a little bit wide, which could really hurt his lap time there. It's a Ferrari right behind him of regular George. He lets him by. Regular George is on a fast lap, 2/10 down, but could still get a big last sector here to improve. He's not going to improve by 4/10 though. It's not an improvement. Anyone else on laps? Big boy Juan. 8th place is a little bit unfortunate for him, as we're just waiting on him and Gunther to finish their laps now. Gunther's into the pits. Hello to everyone in the chat, by the way. See Juan. He will be starting on a few lap all mediums, but let me just check the best times actually. Blazing very happy with a second row finish there. Congrats, bud. Big boy duo looks like he's going to be starting quite far down with a old pair of medium tyres. He is out of fuel. I didn't realise that. Cypher P7, pretty good for him. Santu Reka P6. As we're just going to run down the leaderboards once it's done. Once we finish qualifying. But Parallax on pole by a good few tenths, looking like he can finish off this race into turn 1. Regular George second place, very close between the midfield from second down through 8th at the minute, 5 tenths. Even Civic's not far behind. Regular George will be second though. Getting to third, and they're the only 3 cars that broke into the 1 minute 9, 8. Blazing Strike 4th, it's very good for him. Tim V 5th. He's had better, but you know it's not the end of the world. Santu Reka 6th, as we would just round out the grid order in just a sec. 14 drivers. I'm pretty sure Fox will not be racing though. Let's go through the leaderboards. The front, Alex and regular George, 2 Brits with Goethe and then Blazing. Tim V and Santu Reka in 5th and 6th. It's full focus consisting of Cypher and Big Boy Juan. 9th is the Serbian of Civic with 10th of Reflection. 11th Grenetic, while 20th is at Geo. 13th is Bulky Volcano, with an unfortunate for Fox as he comes 14th place. Rounding up the order in the Mercedes. We're going to get onto the race. Just waiting. Parallax with a very good lap. Midfield being very, very close from one to the other. It's going to be a very scrappy race, especially in the midfield. With then a few back markers being a few seconds off, I see. Yeah, unfortunate. But Fox GP is no longer going to be racing in this race, as he has lagged out the session, so we'll be down from 14 to 13 races. And anyway, we're going to get into this race. All the drivers picking out their setups, changing their strategies, as we will be going around with the formation lap. Yeah, and away we go in the formation lap. We're going to go on board the Parallax from pole in the formation lap. I really do love that they've added the track map to spectator mode. That's brilliant. Few drivers, nearly every driver opting for softs. Juan, Civics and Geo are opting for mediums, though maybe going from medium to soft in this race as we go stay on board with Geo. Parallax, sorry. Just waiting for the race, for the formation lap to close itself out. Fox is still in the lobby, but he is in the pit lane, so again, no racing from him. We just get on board with Parallax. He's going to finish complete off the formation lap. Jennifer overtook George in the formation lap, but everyone being on soft tyres, all 7th and above, are all on the soft compound. So I personally think it's going to be a very tight race between all those. If I'm being honest, I think the soft tyres could go for about 15 to 16 laps if you're going to squeeze them out, and then if they opt in mediums at the end, or if they go for a 2-stop or even hard compounds if they're feeling risky to drop track position. So here we go, we're going to line up an Alfa Romeo, a Ferrari, a Red Bull and a Force Racing Point, sorry. All getting out of the formation lap as we're going to go now. Let's get on board. We're waiting for the lights to go out. It's 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 light. And lights out and away we go here in Brazil. Parallax with a pretty good start, but he had regular George with a good one also. Gunther going up inside while Blazing Strike gets at the inside of George. No, he doesn't. Blazing Strike falls back. Tim V making a few positions. Cypher also getting a few positions. Santu Ressa has dropped down quite a bit. Grenetics dropped down to P13. The Parallax with a decent start. Gunther on his tail, only 4/10 back as regular George lost a little bit of ground to Parallax. As we do see Gio and Grenadic, maybe contact happened with them. I'm not sure what happened, but Grenadic get a 5-second penalty. Stay on board, go back on board with Parallax now. He's keeping a little bit of a distance to Gunther. Gunther seems to be dropping back. Gap's now over a second, so in lap 1 he's already got DRS distance. As I think it's a safety car. Yeah, virtual safety car is out on lap 1. As we do see Gio Fortnite out of the race. I think there's contact between him and Grenadic, as Grenatic's front wing is completely gone. But lucky for Grenadic, there is a virtual safety car, so he's going to guess he's going to box off those soft compound tyres. There's nowhere back underway as Grenadic completely pushed by Parallax. Gunther goes very wide and he comes back onto the track. It's 3-second corner cutting penalty for that. Great fighting out at the front. As we got Tim V all over the back of regular George. He's completely pushing with his ERS. George is on 2, but Tim's on 4, trying to get this move for the podium finish done. As he's going to opt out of that because it's too dangerous. So Cypher's also right on the back of these two fighting. As I mean, Parallax is not really pushed off. I know we've had that little virtual safety car, but he's still on your 4/10 gap. Now up to 6:10, 7:10. So this is where Parallax makes up his time. That was a second. He's very quick, Parallax, in this middle sector. He's hugely opening up that gap. As Tim V's trying to go up the inside, there's a little bit of ghosting there. There's a little bit of contact, but a little bit of ghosting gets Tim V up the inside. As we know, George saving that ERS, now opening up that back, not the back wing, sorry, opening up that ERS to overtake mode to try and get the move down on Tim. He is closing that gap with that slipstream. Tim with only 10% ERS, he's going to have to save that. While regular George has been saving it for these first 2 laps, and that's going to be brilliant for him as he's going to be hunting down Tim V for the rest of this race. Parallax already opening that gap to 1.7 seconds as the DRS will be out now coming on this lap. Santu Ressa is boxing for medium compound, so he will be doing a 2-stop. With Blazing, yes, see what I said. Gunther's escaped regular George a little bit. From Tim V down to Juan, even Cvix, if he gets a little bit of pace back. It is going to be a big battle as Tim V opens the gap to George to a second. As they're involved with Blazing Strike, as he's going to try and make a move on Cypher. But big boy Juan, he's going to be looking to make that move on Blazing. Blazing has that little bit more DRS, and they both have DRS, so that no one's going to be able to make the move. But Juan's going to opt for the inside line. Tim V going very defensive. Gunther gets another 5-second penalty for corner cutting there. As Juan can't get the move done on Blazing, very good defending. But Gunther, I think he's out of the race. I think Gunther's out of this race. No, he's speeding back up. Sorry, I don't know what happened there to Gunther. Dropping all the way down to P8 as Tim Parallax. A very big 3.5-second gap. There's a virtual safety car is out, sorry I didn't realise that. Everyone's saving the ERS. A few cars with 100% there. only a handful. George is going to be keeping that ERS and keeping as close as he can to Tim. DRS is enabled, just had the race control. There is the VSC is ended as Tim V somehow opened that gap to close that gap down by a second to Parallax under the virtual safety car. But Tim V has very nice gap to regular George now, who has Cypher the carrot all over the back of him here as they're going to come down the straight. Cypher has ERS, both of them actually have ERS considering that they just had the ESC. George going very defensive as Cypher looks like he's getting the move done. George leaving space, but George will have the inside line on Cypher here and keeps that P3. It's always tough, especially when they both have ERS. There's a big 4-person scrap here coming down into turn 4. Regular George leading the way with Blazing and Cypher all over him here as Cypher gets that move done. Into P3 goes Cypher the carrot. Regular George right behind with Blazing, G1 and even Cvix close. This is some very good midfield racing from 4 cars here. Still on board with Blazing as he breaks a little bit late into regular George. That's going to spit up the midfield path just a little bit. As Blazing is probably going to fall out of order. His front right end plate is gone, I believe. Still a pretty good close race though, as regular George is going to be hunting to get that position back on Cypher, who is going to be trying to save that ERS as he's going to be defending for his life down the straight. As he's not got ERS active, he's going to put it up to a hot lap as he's going to try and defend this position. Cypher easily keeping regular George at bay as there's already a 3-second gap from regular George to Cypher. No, sorry, from Parallax has a 4-second gap, then Tim V has a 3-second gap as George is up the inside. Looks like Cypher just left him the room to jump up the inside. Blazing is still holding his own for the wing damage he has. Fair play to Blazing. G1's fallen off a little bit, 5/10 back with Cvix is right into the mix now with G1. Go ball with Cypher again. This P3 battle, that helicopter angle, very good angle there. Very good angle on the racing. Love this angle. Cypher not getting the greatest exit he's going to want. That's going to open it up to about 5/10. I was going to say, could we keep that angle for the rest of the race, please? That would be brilliant for the third person. Or for the bird's eye view. And let's go with Cvix as he's attacking another medium runner of G1 as we do lose another driver. Gunther is out of this race as Cvix goes up the inside of G1. Yellow flags in sector 1. That's for Gunther. Blazers strike a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as Cypher could be closer than ever. As wait, what's happened there? Parallax has made a very big mistake as Tim V has closed that gap down right the way to 4/10 as his virtual safety car, not for the first time or not for the second time, for the third time today in the first 7 laps. It's going to give drivers a chance to save their ERS. Also, maybe regular George could cut that gap down a little bit sneakily. It's also going to close the midfield. Still a good fight in the midfield so far. 5 drivers. The wing grid of Gunther still there. DRS is enabled as we go racing again. Tim V is very close to Parallax. Parallax is going to waste that ERS all straight as Tim V looks like he's just going to use it on the exit of the final corner there. DRS activated. Tim V maybe not going for the move this early in the race. Maybe Tim V is saving and going for a move later on as Yuan is into the pits. Lap number 8. Maybe he's going for the 2-stop. I think he's going for the 2-stop as that's gonna give him the opportunity to do the undercut. Cvix is very close to Blazing, who does have wing damage. Blazing's weaving on the straight and Cvix. I don't think he has wing damage. Let me just check. He's on the medium, so the more ground he makes, the better. I don't see wing damage where Blazing has got his front right end plate. No, his front left end plate, sorry. loss is a gap forming from Cypher to Blazing. My Cypher is still on the back of Jordan, Tim V is still on the back of Parallax. There's a few good little battles so far at the front of this Grand Prix. No squabbles towards the back though, as there's a huge gaps. G1 is going to be making the one stop, goes onto the hards, as he now has fresh tyres. Grenetic also did pit for a new set of softs, and Santuversa pit for mediums on that 3 or 4. As Blazing, Cypher Car may have made a mistake as Blazing closes up, as Cvix is also still there. It's still a 4-person fight from third, down to 6th, as Juan is making the undercut, as he is closing that gap down again. Cvix can't get this move done. Blazing going very defensive, very defensive, not letting Cvix get the move done, but it seems like Cvix is getting very desperate to get it done now, but Blazing is just completely cutting off every opportunity that Cvix is getting. Blazing goes a little bit wide with his wing damage. Cvix is not going to be able to get up the inside though. Not only realising a little bit later, it's still a 4-car scrap, which is very good. Still all like 2 seconds, 3 seconds within each other, with G1 also closing that gap down. Maybe going to be hunting for that fastest lap, who knows. Parallax is going to be reopening that gap though to Tim V, now to 1.4 seconds. Now up to 1.6, is just going to continue blazing the gaps to Cypher. 1.4 seconds now as Cypher's going to be closing down. He's going to be using all that ERS, but he's not got much battery left compared to regular George. George is going to be weaving on, is going to go a little bit defensive, not too much over Cypher. Weaves and maybe loses that little touch of speed. He could have got Bulky Volcano with a 3-second time penalty there, and multiple warnings. Considering he is like, what, 2 laps behind us. Blazing, what happened to Blazing? What happened to Blazing? He had big contact with, very big contact with Cvix. Cvix losing his entire front left. His front left wing, but Blazing with terminal damage. As there is a safety car. Safety car is out. Very hectic start with 3 DNFs. We still have 10 drivers though, so every single driver who now will be getting a point. Bulky Volcano pitched for a new fresh set of softs. Also, this will cram the fields together, so the midfield, all probably on fresh sets of tyres, will all have fresh tyres and all have similar tyres left. As Parallax and Tim V both coming in, probably going to have to opt for the hards if they're not 2-stopping at this point. What are they going on to? Tim V onto hards. Parallax 2-stopping. Parallax is 2-stopping. George is not pitted just yet. George is going to keep that lead. I don't know why he's on a very old set of softs. Maybe because his teammate pitted, but he is ahead of the safety car. Cvix onto a new set of hards and a new front wing, so that's a very good time for him to pit. As George, probably the only driver in the top 6 at the minute. Grenetic also opted not to pit. That's probably because his teammate didn't pit, but not opting to pit again. Juan pitting. Juan coming out now. Santu Rekka coming out. Bulky Volcano also on a new set of fresh tyres. The grid all on fresh set of tyres apart from Grenetic and George, all going to be hunting each other down. Tim V is on a set of hards. Juan is going to be finishing this race on that set of mediums with the looks of things. Santu's going to be finishing this race on that set of hards. Same with Tim V, but Cypher, Parallax, George, Reflection, Grenetic and Bulky Volcano will all still have stops to make left to make in this race. As regular George decides to come in now. a very weird time to decide to come in for regular George. He's just going to lose out and go to 7th from a possible 3rd, as Tim V's going to lead us into the safety car. He's going to be on a very fresh set, immediate hards, but as he has jumped Parallax, sorry I forgot to say, in the pits, as Parallax is just going to be looking on that fresh set of softs to overtake Tim V as soon as possible. Cypher also going to be looking to get Tim V as soon as possible, maybe even stay on the back of Parallax if possible. Reflection also be looking to get past Cvix, maybe. Cvix looking to make as much ground as he can on these hards. Maybe trying to get past Tim V, who knows, because he knows, he's obviously definitely knows at the minute that two of the cars ahead of him are on softs and the car behind him is on soft. Grenetic is not pitting yet. A very bold move from EGH Grenetic. He's not going to pit, and if he opts to pit now, he's going to be at the back, even behind Bulky Volcano, which at this point in time could be an obstacle. He's still nowhere near though. Bulky Volcano is still way off the pack, because every single driver has 100% ERS. Everyone will be waiting to look at these. And is safety car in this lap? Reflection getting a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits in the safety car. I think we're getting another lap of safety car. Yes we are, we're having another lap of safety car for Bulky Volcano. Can get into the pit mix once more. Grenetic's still not pitting. I'm not really sure why. I'd rather pit for a set of mediums and go to the end than just pit and just wait and pit for mediums later. Personally, because he's gonna be on a dead set of tyres. And that's not the very nicest noise in the world, is it? 4 people still in here consistently. Thank you guys for watching the stream. The safety car really should be in this lap, and if not, I don't know when that's going to be in, because it should have been in this lap, as Tim V will lead us away from the safety car. As Parallax will be 2nd from the safety car, Cypher 3rd, Cvix 4th, Reflection 5th. I hate a safety car, honestly. Crams the pack together, which is a good thing, yeah, but nothing to commentate on for about 6-7 minutes. As we should be seeing the safety car speed off. Please not another lap of the safety car. Yes, safety car is going to be in this lap. Race control. Bulky Volcano is out under safety car, as he looks like he goes into the back of Bulky Volcano, straight into the back of Santu Wrecker. That penalty will probably be removed from Santu Racer there. Wrecker. That penalty will probably be removed, as Tim V's going to get away not as well as he wanted to do, as Parallax is going to be right at his tail already at the turn 1 from safety car, and he's going to already be up the inside, and Tim V probably wanted to hold the lead longer than just turn 1. Tim V's already lost first position. Regular George, what happened to him? He's not got damage. I don't know what happened. As he goes on the inside, he hits the curve too much and loses a huge chunk because he's out of the session. He retires, and now we're down to 8 with both racing points out. Again, Tim V probably want to hold the lead for longer than that first corner, which he just didn't manage to do, did he? Regular George absolutely annoyed at himself there. I don't know if it was a collision. But it was a collision, I didn't see it at least. As Parallax is hunting that gap, he has to open that gap for around 25 seconds, remember, but by the time we box it, maybe about 15-16 seconds by at least like 25. Probably when he's going to pit next. around there anyway. Safe Carrot now going to be right on the, not right on the back of Tim, as Parallax was a 111.1. We do see Gion Reflection is into the pits, or maybe he had it. Cvix is going to pick up a time penalty for 3 seconds there. Oh no, Reflection's in for a drive through. Not sure what that was for. I thought this would bunch up all the pack, but considering George and Blazin and Gunther are out, the midfield fight is literally going to be Cypher and Cvix right now. And Juan, if he can get into there. Same with Gunnetic, maybe Tim V as well, if Cypher can close up to him. So we're hoping for a few battles, but nothing really too big right now. Cvix is going to be trying to close up on Cypher the Carrot for this final podium paying position. But again, he's just on the way worse tyres. Really should be losing about a second and a half a lap from softs to hards, but he hasn't. And Big Boy Juan with a way fresher tyres than Grenetic. Grenetic very bold not to box. DRS is enabled. Does Parallax have it open? I'm not sure. No, he doesn't, sorry. As Grenetic breaks very late, but very nicely into that corner as he holds the inside line. He's going to close up very nicely coming into turn 4. Juan's going to break late. Grenetic slams that door shut closed. Onto Cvix, onto Juan there. As it's going to Cvix as he's looking to close that gap down, but the straight line speed from hards to softs is going to make it nearly impossible for Cvix there, as Cypher is saving that ERS and he's not using it. That gap is opening that little bit more, and now Juan has fell from Grenetic a little bit. Let's check as his end plate is gone. Yeah, his front right end plate's gone. Juan. But Santuresa. Santuresa is closing that gap, but Juan is also closing that gap to Grenetic, so we're going to have a 3-car battle now. And I just didn't realise that Cvix very close to Cypher as we're going to come down to turn 4. Cvix, he's going to get alongside and he's going to get that move done. Cvix, big move for Cvix on the hards to compounds compared to Cypher softs. Just now he needs to open that gap to Cypher and close that gap to Tim V, and he could be in with a victory opportunity, as Parallax's gap is just under 5 seconds, but it's not exactly close enough. Big enough to hold his lead even with his pit. Now it's gone forward Cypher. He's keeping that gap reasonably close as he's using that ERS a lot to try and get that 3rd place back. Down the straight now. Santu is not that gap going a little bit up to Juan, as Juan's pushing to get to Grenetic down. Grenetic doing very well to still be on 15 lap old, 16 lap now softs. The Cypher's keeping that gap down. Didn't get reasonably close enough to Cvix down the back straight, or even into turn 4. But he needs to save out that ERS, as so does Cvix. Both wasted a lot of it. Cvix is marginally closing that gap down to Tim. As Parallax is, everyone is saving the ERS after wasting it all after the safety car. Grenetic is still doing very well, honestly, to hold on to those tyres, as he will have Juan all over the back of him if Juan starts pushing. I think comes going to into the pits. Maybe he can go for another set of softs. He's just, if he goes onto another set of softs, we're hoping for another safety car, but I'm going to guess he's going to go into the mediums to finish off this race. Yes, he is, and he's going to be able to finish off the race on this set of compounds, as he's going to be able to stay ahead of Reflection. No, he's not. Reflection gets into that P7. Gwinnett now falling out to dead last, still 4 points for him. Parallax's gap is now 8 seconds, so Tim V is really looking to be struggling. But Parallax is using the RS, or Tim V is just completely saving to get that push. Gap is now just under 9 seconds. Needs to be about 12 to 13 before Parallax pits. And then Parallax will need to make his way back for the field. 8 lap roll softs, it's not that much. They can probably go about 11 to 12 laps. Maybe 13. Yeah, you saw Gwinnett went 16, 17, but that was with a safety car and 3 virtuals, you've got to remember. The Cvix is very much closing down to Tim V, but Tim V is using that ERS very wisely. But Cvix is now into that second range. It was like 2.5 seconds. Cypher not being able to keep up with Cvix though. 2 second gap there. U1 with a 3 second time penalty. I think Santuvac has made a big mistake though, because his gap to U1 is now 8.5 seconds. There's actually 10 seconds behind him. As the closest battle we have is Cvix and Tim V, so you may as well stay on board with them. As the gap is now back over a second. It's now back into that second as Parallax does post around fast lap 1:10.7, as he's now posting a 11.4 second gap. Now up to 11.5. This could be huge. Yes, he has to pit, but he's gonna go on to, I think, a set of mediums. What did Parallax start on? Yes, Parallax will be pitting very soon onto medium compounds. And Cvix gets past him. I'm not sure if that's a mistake on Tim's part, but he does get that move done. And that is him into P2. Tim V does go a little bit deep. Not lucky ghosting is on there. Eight tenths now is that gap. It's 13 seconds from Cvix to Parallax. Cvix looks like he wants to hunt down this victory. It's Tim V, that's definitely a warning. But Tim V is still trying to keep on the bomb back of Tim V here, not of Cvix. Blazing's left the session. Very unfortunate for him. A collision with Cvix. That gap is now over a second, but we have no battles. Honestly, would rather another safety car to come out. It's just, while there's nothing happening on this track, let's have a look into penalties. Parallax has no penalties. Cvix has 11 seconds, I think. 11 seconds. Tim V has 3 seconds, so definitely Tim V needs to keep a gap below 8 seconds to Cvix to be able to get that. It's 1.6 seconds at the minute with 14 laps left to go in this race. .9 seconds now's the gap. 2 seconds now is literally nothing to commentate over. Can Grenetic close this gap down to Reflection, or Reflection close that gap down to Santu to make it something? Juon, for someone who dominated the first 2 races last season, he's really struggled from yesterday and today. He really has struggled. Santu Reka, 5-second penalty from speed in the pit lane as he is kind of coming. Maybe for a set of softs. Yes, he is. Is going to save that 5-second time penalty. Cypher is closing that gap down to Tim V. He's now looking to push that gap down as Tim V is losing a lot of time. As Parallax's gap is 16 seconds, which could eventually close out the win. I'm not sure how long it takes usually in the pit lane. Usually takes around 23 seconds as Parallax is now in for his box. Cvix will take the lead of this Brazilian Grand Prix, but just remember Parallax will have to make his way through 4 cars. Juon, Cypher, Tim V and Cvix. If Juon gets by, we know that Cypher the carrot will get by. Cypher the carrot is in, but Tim V will get by the McLaren, I think. Does he? No. Parallax keeps track position in 2nd place. No, he doesn't. Wait, does he? He doesn't. Let's stay on board with Tim V, and now there's some action to this race of Tim V getting that little bit of straight line speed. He has been pushing the same for the Parallax. Parallax pushes him out a little bit wide. Not too much to get Tim V a warning though, it shouldn't be. And Tim V. That's a very poor decision from Tim V. He tries to go up the inside. He went off circuit to do so. That is not a legal move from Tim V. But from Parallax. It's more stupid from Tim V there, to be honest. But Parallax just has the ERS on Cvix, the tyre life on Cvix, and the tyre on Cvix, and easily so far from what we saw, the pace on Cvix as that gap is coming close to a second. But Parallax, it's not like he has a few laps to do this, he has a big 11 laps to do it. Parallax does get a penalty, but just remember Cvix does. That's Parallax's first penalty, but Cvix has even 11 seconds worth of penalties. Parallax, he's gonna definitely want to look to do this overtake on track though. Five tenths, closing down to 3. Parallax has much better tyre life. Juon's also into the back of Tim V, or close to the back. I'm just gonna go on board with Juon as he gets this bird's eye view. A big mistake for Tim. A little mistake. Gonna allow Juon after a very poor qualifying, but a good race, considering about 3 drivers that should be up there crashed out. Juon could look to get a podium as Parallax. I'm sorry I've missed that, but Parallax takes the lead of this Brazilian Grand Prix. I don't think Cvix is going to have what it takes to fight back. As Parallax already gets that gap to 8 tenths per second, I think this is just going to be a cruise from now on for Parallax. As there's a big fight for P3 here. Juon tries to go up the inside, he gets the move done I think, but Tim V very late. As we're going to see it done on the run to turn 4, Tim V has an 11-second gap to Cvix though. No bubble Ju1 as that camera angle is very poor. Tim V goes very defensive, but Ju1 up the inside as Tim V squeezes a little bit. Tim V squeezes a lot there. Ju1's not going to do what Tim V done last lap around. We're going to stay on board because this is the closest fight we had since Cvix has already has that gap to 1.5 seconds. Not the best from Cvix, to be honest. Maybe he could have kept that gap down, but he's a very quick driver, Parallax. Very close now between these two cars of Ju1 and Tim V, as Tim V's definitely not going to be able, I don't think, to defend. The tyre life is very similar. Tim V's definitely have the less percentage, as Ju1 is on the mediums. If Ju1 does pull out what he's trying to pull out, which is 26 laps on the mediums, not 26, yes, 26 laps on the mediums, around that. Ju1 is very close now, not being able to get the move done. I thought he would have had the move done by now, as it's not a 10th coming through there. But Ju1, all he has to do is save that ERS through this middle sector. That's exactly what Tim V is trying to do, but if Ju1 is doing it a little bit better, Ju1, a little mistake there from Tim V, could get overtaken for Ju1. I might be pronouncing this wrong entirely, race, because I don't think he's French. Maybe it's Ju1 or Ju1, who knows, but Ju1 goes a little bit wide down the exit, as Cvix has already got that 4-second gap to Parallax, as he's really struggling for pace around here. It looks things compared in the comparison, Cypher has a 10-second gap to Ju1, as Ju1's going to get past. Tim V squeezing him out a lot, but the gap is too big for Tim V to have a dive at Ju1, and that could be the final podium spot finished for this race. Ju1 looks like he can have it, but Tim V will have DRS. The gap is only 2/10, closing down 2/10 as Ju1 is not using as much DRS, and Tim V goes up the inside, and Tim V gets track position, and that's going to be another swap over, and that is P3 for Tim. Very good racing from both drivers there. Very clean. We may as well keep going on with this because this is the only action we have. Ju1 taking his better lines. All Ju1 has to do is just save a little bit of VRS, exactly what Tim is doing. They're both saving it. I think they're both trying to get a better plan on each other. But Ju1 has much better percent battery. There's no close battles, really surprising from what happened earlier in the race. I really wish there was still every car in this race left, just because for the battles. Ju1's close now, as Ju1 is going to get position. Not as much as he'd like though. Tim V does get the inside, but Tim V not with the best line through there. And Ju1 is going to carry on to have a battery, as Tim V's just wasted it completely there. Ju1 instantly backs out, as he can't make that move. Then we're just going to go on board with the driver's Cypher. Not having the best race of his life, but he's probably going to comfortably finish P5 down, maybe, unless penalties hurt. Very bold, very good from him to get 19 laps on his out of a soft tyre. That's over half the race, just from bear in mind. Very good tyre saving from him. Sam Duressa, not long pitted for softs, maybe could pit again to try and get that fastest lap. He did start quite high up, if I can check. 6th place he started. Cvix from 9th to 2nd, probably going to get driver of the day, if that is a thing. Then Reflection, just back of the grid. As long as he gets this race done, which he looks to get done, I mean, Doesn't even matter if you finish at this point, just be consistent in getting those finishes done, and that's what Reflection has done here. He's going to bag himself 4 points unless something else happens in this race, and that's going to be a good one from him, as Juan with him be continuing their battle, as Juan gets pushed onto the outside, but I think this may be Juan's move done, as Team V is very close. Very, very close as we get the bird's eye view again, which is brilliant because I can see mistakes. Cypher with the penalties, Team V getting very close to the back of Juan there. Into turn number 8. Now coming up to turn 10. Team V very close, but not close enough. We're just going to go on board with Parallax as he's got 5 more laps to finish. Just keep it on track, not get too many penalties. Cvix has an 8-second gap. Parallax has done this 2-stop to an absolute treat today. Fair play to him. Cvix starting 9th, he's done brilliantly to get all that way up. Let's go back on board with Tim as he gets another lap without getting the move done. 8/10 of a second. Sorry for going a little bit silent there, but I'm sorry for not spectating you or your driver or your favourite drivers, whatever it may be. But there's just simply not enough battling, and I'm just going to stay on board with Tim V as he's now out of a second range. Please slow down, Juan, so it's at least some battle to go for the last 4 laps. Gap is over a second now as Tim V goes very wide. He did close it in under a second. Tim V again, he's in that DRS range. He's gonna dive up the inside. It's gonna force you on for a cutback. As you want perfect that to a treat, and Tim V. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's going to fall Tim V without the front wing. No front wing whatsoever. Well, actually there is, his end plate's gone. Into the hands of Cypher the Carrot. Cypher the Carrot probably thought at this point he was going to have an easy ending to the race. No, he's got a fight on his hands for 4th place. Big boy Juan now definitely finished for 3rd. Tim V probably not going to pit, because if he pits he's going to fall down to 7th maybe. I don't think he's going to fall into the hands of Reflection, but he's definitely going to go behind Santu Wrecker, which could force him from a battle for 4th to 5th, 6th to 6th, 7th place. Maybe he could go for the fastest lap, but that's still going to be in jeopardy of more points. I don't know what happened between Juan and Tim V. I did see it, but I was on board with Juan. I should have probably went with the broadcast. As we're going to see Cypher the Carrot go very close, wheel to wheel with Tim V. Very wheel to wheel as Tim V pushes him onto the grass just a little bit, maybe just a friendly fight. As Cypher does get past, but it's going to be another. Tim V's going to do the exact same thing as he done last time. The exact same thing. Tim V, the 2nd time in a row, the exact same thing, and this time it's going to fall him into the hands of Grenetic. Oh my god, what? How can Tim V do that? Tim V, both times with Cypher and Juan, breaks late into turn 1, tries to come back on track by cutting the corner, and goes straight into the side of them. He's done that twice, and could he do it 3 times here with Grenetic? Very unfortunate for Tim, but it's realistically it's his own fault. You can't look at him and say it's not his fault, because that he done it twice. That is his fault. As he does have big wing damage, so that's going to fall him into the hands of Grenetic, probably into the final corners. He does swipe a little bit. It's Grenetic nervous of a brake check, perhaps. So he does get a much better run on Tim V. Actually, no, he doesn't. He does get a better run though. Tim V, is he going to do the exact same thing? I'm just going to go on board with him to see what he does do. He does go wide. Is he going to cut the corner? No, he stays on track, but it nearly is the same thing. But he does the same thing happens to Grenadic, what Grenadic done to him. And that's going to fall Grenadic into the hands of Santu-Reka, and Grenadic's going to fall down to P7. Could Santu-Reka, in these dying stages of the race, with just a lap and a half to go, close on a 3-second gap to Tim V and sneak a sneaky P5 where he thought he was going to get P7? No, he's not even closing that gap down much. But he is having to say that, you know, that's what Tim V is pushing with not much percentage left. You've really got a feel for Grenadic there, but at the same time you have got a feel for Tim V. Could have fell 4 positions in the last 5-6 laps. We're just going to watch Parallax come home. Actually no, we're not, because we're going to watch Grenadic trying to chase down Santu-Reka, but he's got half his wing on, so we're not really seeing that to happen. Santu-Reka is closing that gap down. We could see a fight on this last final lap. It is 1.8 seconds. It is closing down actually quite a lot. We could see Santu-Reka make a last move. We're just gonna decide to go on board with Parallax. We've not been on board tightly since the safety car was Parallax. But we're gonna go on board with him as he's gonna come across the line. As he's gonna come around the final corner and across the line to win the season opener here in Brazil. And he's done brilliant to do that. Let's go on board with Cvix. He's going to come across the line in a brilliant P2. Controlling those hard since the safety car. Brilliant from Cvix. Now we're going to go on board with Big Bourgeois, and he comes around turn 13 into turn 14 and up to the final corner. As Big Bourgeois is going to come across the line with a podium unless a big number of penalties has gone on. No, Juan had a big penalty himself, but Cypher, a brilliant race for him around the last corners. He's going to finish P4, and again, unless another big stroke of penalties. Tim V, still in P5. I did say, didn't I, Santu-Reka would be right on his tail, and this is going to be down to penalties. As Tim V comes across the line, P5, Santu-Reka jumps him. No, he doesn't, does he? Yes, he does. Tim V had a lot of penalties. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Grenadic comes across the line and jumps both of them there. We're going to go across the line with reflection. He's going to come across the line, and that's going to be the end of the race here. A very controversial end to the race, with Grenadic losing the 2 positions, but getting them back to right at the end. Santu-Reka finishing P6, where he finished where he crossed the line. Tim V being the unlucky of the lot by finishing P7. Tim V could have easily won the race today, or not won, but came P2. As Parallax absolutely controlled and deserved win for Parallax today. Brilliantly from him, as we're just going to see Cvix and P9. Brilliant race from him, coming from P9. Few incidents to get there, but yes, he did get there in the end. Juan, with a very unfortunate start and a very unfortunate quali, did come across the line for the finish on the podium. So it's a great job by him. Cypher, P4, way behind, did do what he could to get there. Fair play to him. Grenadic from P11 to P5, fair play to him. No penalties throughout that race. Very convincing performance from Grenadic. Santu-Reka starting 6th, finishing 6th, not too bad. Tim probably could have finished 3rd, 7th for him. Reflection 8th, George 9th, Volcano 10th, Blazing, Ginther and Geo all pointless from that race. Thank you everyone. That's going to be F1LL's round 1 of season 2, and that is going to be it from me, your host Mumford Plays, and that is it from me today, and I'll see you guys next week for the next race. Sorry, I'm not sure what it actually is, but I'll see you guys then.